In the early years of World War II, the United States not only had superior manufacturing capabilities, but also a strategic advantage in terms of geographical location. American bases were spread across the Pacific, from Hawaii to Australia, and especially the west coast of the United States, where logistics and reinforcements were constantly provided to the front. It was from this situation that a bold and unusual idea was formed in the Japanese military, to build a submarine capable of carrying aircraft, a real underwater aircraft carrier. This would be a weapon that could quietly cross thousands of kilometers of ocean, approach the United States without being detected, and then suddenly launch airstrikes on important targets such as the Panama Canal or New York City, the birth of a dazzling plan. The man behind this crazy idea was Rear Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, a veteran and far-sighted strategist. He understood that Japan could not fight a war of attrition against the United States, and therefore needed a surprise, highly symbolic strike to change the situation. Under Yamamoto's urging, plans for the construction of an underwater aircraft carrier began to take shape. This underwater aircraft carrier was unlike anything that had ever existed before. Not only would it have to be larger than any submarine of the time, it would also have to carry at least 3 aircraft, along with a complex launch and recovery system. Combining the deep diving capabilities of a submarine with the aircraft launching capabilities of an aircraft carrier would have required a high level of engineering. It was an unprecedented challenge in naval engineering. The project was named I-400. It became one of the most ambitious weapons development programs of the Imperial Japanese Navy. The I-400 was not only a technical marvel, but also a symbol of daring and innovation beyond its time. Despite the technical and strategic risks it carried, the I-400 was designed to be nearly 122 meters long, longer than a modern nuclear submarine. It had a displacement of more than 6,000 tons when fully loaded, enough to cross the ocean without refueling. The deck was specially designed to accommodate a completely enclosed hangar, where 3 AICM-6A1 Siren seaplanes were housed. The Sirens were also a special story. They were the only aircraft in history designed specifically to operate from submarines. The wings can fold. The fuselage is optimized to fit in a narrow hangar, and the engine is tuned to take off within seconds of being launched from a pneumatic catapult on the deck. All of this suggests that Japan is not simply building a new weapon. It is creating an entirely new combat system, one where submarines, aircraft, and the element of surprise combine to form a strike that can turn the tide of battle. How it works. To understand the complexity and strangeness of the I-400, it is necessary to visualize how it would operate in a real mission. Unlike traditional aircraft carriers with long runways and large catapults, the I-400 had to open its hangar while floating on the water, extremely dangerous operation, and then quickly assemble each Siren by hand in a time of only 20 to 30 minutes per aircraft. Once the ship surfaced, a team of technicians would move the Siren's wings and tail into place, lock them down, refuel, load bombs, and move the aircraft onto the pneumatic catapult. From there, the aircraft would be launched from the deck with enough force to take off immediately, avoiding the usual runway. After completing the mission, the pilots were not expected to return to the ship. Since the submarines had no runway to land on, pilots were trained to fly to a friendly base, or, in some suicide missions, simply crash land on their target or ditch into the ocean after the attack was complete.